Is up, guys? Let me get this camera on. There we go. Hey, um, I wanted to go over this. I'm going to be turning the stream on in just a little bit, but I wanted to get this going first. Excited day today. We're going to be Diablo 4 Season 7 comes out. But that being said, I wanted to go through. Yesterday was an insanely busy day. Trump had a crazy first day. And so I've been dealing with AI on Twitter. I've been trying to find out most of the important stuff and trying to formulate it into one specific video. So you guys, if you need like a summary of everything that happened yesterday, I'm assuming today is going to be just, if not more monstrous, considering yesterday he went to a luncheon, three different speeches, a dinner, three balls, and signed 200 executive orders or something like that, right? All in a day. Dude was, just to give you an idea between him and Biden, right? Dude was literally signing executive orders that are massive while taking questions from the press, just rocking it out, right? Biden can't even answer a question or open his eyes, let alone do that and sign important documents and have competent conversation. So it's nice to have a president who has, brain cells that are currently working. It's beautiful. Regardless of your feelings on Trump, after what we've seen Biden do the last 24 hours with pardoning Fauci, which is a crime against every human on earth, and his family and everything else, and the J6 committee and everything else, Biden has over 8,000 pardons in his presidency, which is bananas. A lot of them being people who shouldn't receive them. But anyway, another video for another time. Let's get into this one. This is the big thing. So he pardoned 1,500 individuals involved in January 6th Capitol attack. Again, and the main reason, guys, just so you're aware, the main reason that they're pardoning all these people is because the J6 committee deleted a bunch of information. This has all been verified, okay? Kash Patel, as the new FBI director, will come out and show you all this. He will release all these documents. Trump has also promised to release the documents on all the major events, assassinations, things like that. So we are excited to get that information. As soon as I get that information and I know that it's credible and I can read through it, I will summarize it as well and give you guys a video. But that being said, that was the main reason he pardoned these people. And when they asked him about it during his press signing, because I watched it live, basically he was saying, well, there's murderers, there's all these other people who go to jail, and they're out in a day, and these people have had nothing, and they've just been absolutely smashed for what they did. Now, keep in mind, some of these people were part of groups that some people really don't agree with. I don't agree with everything that all these people did, obviously. But that being said, they've served plenty of time in jail at this point. And with the way that Biden acted on his way out, I thought this was more than fair on his way in. Okay, so whether you agree with that or not, it doesn't really matter to me. That's my opinion. That's why I'm here, right? So that was the big thing that I saw. Now, the other thing that I just want to get this out of my way real quick. So he, pardoned 1,500 people for that. Okay. Now, immigration border security. He declared a national emergency at the southern border, which means he can deploy troops. He can deploy the National Guard. He can make sure that that is fixed today. And if you saw some of the pictures from the Border Patrol yesterday, literally within an hour after the inauguration was complete and Trump was officially the president, within the hour, they had people, they were good to go, okay? Which really should frustrate a lot of people because this problem was solved. It was then unsolved by the Biden administration and now has to be resolved. And now we have to spend billions and billions and billions of taxpayer dollars to get these criminals out of our country. Because if you break the law, by definition, you are a criminal. So if you do not come into this country legally, you are a criminal. That is how that works, okay? It's nothing against immigration. My grandpa and my grandma were both immigrants, and they came in the right way, right? One came on the Queen Elizabeth, one came through the Ellis Island, right? Like it. I come from this. My whole family has served in the military. I'm the first one in my family to really not be in the military, and so. To me, immigration is something that I hold near and dear to my heart, but there's a way to do it and there's a way not to do it. And the way that has been going on for the last 4 years is completely unacceptable, and it's not right, and it caused deaths and murders and rapes and lots of problems. So I was super happy to see this. He signed orders to end birthright citizenship. So basically, guys, we were the only country who had this. I don't think that he retroed this, right? So I think if you were already born in this country and became a citizen, you're not going to have your citizenship taken away, which I think is the correct way to do it. I think you say, hey, from this moment forward, this is done, right? That way you can't have illegal people coming over the border, having a child, and then that child gets all the rights, and then they have to separate parents and family, or the whole family gets to. It's just a huge mess. So I think this is a great thing to sign. Obviously, I think that the next Democrat that gets in office will immediately rescind that. And again, I don't know why, but I think they probably will. It's just my opinion again. He also reinstated the catch and release into Mexico, right? So remain in Mexico. It's no longer catch and release in the U.S., which should have always been the thing. And again, I don't care what side of the aisle you're on, 95% of Americans agree with this. When they poll people, when they do all this, this is a massive majority of people agree with the stance of illegal immigration is a massive problem, and we need to do a lot about it. And it was much better off before the last administration came in. So Trump withdrew from the Paris Climate Accord. Again, saving a monstrous amount of money. And again, whether you agree with the climate issues or not, which I'm kind of on the fence on, I'm not one side or the other. I've heard arguments from both sides. Both sides make valid arguments. So I understand the emotions on both sides of this principle here. However, the amount of money that we were paying is bananas. And again, when we have a country who, we can't house our own people who had a disaster, because I'm in Florida, right? And Hurricane Milton, we felt Hurricane Helene. I've been hit by 2 Category 5s and a Category 4, because that's what Milton was, right? So I've been hit by 3 massive hurricanes, direct hits. Okay, 2 of them. The last one wasn't a direct hit, but we were within 100 miles of the eye. So it was pretty bad here for a while. I've been through these. I know the devastation that it causes. My businesses and my towns have been absolutely destroyed by hurricanes. If you ever want to go look up Fort Myers Beach, Hurricane Ian, you'll see what I'm talking about. That's where I live, okay, is Fort Myers. So I understand this more than most, and trust me, FEMA and the government does nothing for us. Okay, they do nothing for anybody, and to see the country giving away billions and billions of dollars to foreign countries was absolutely bananas and is wrong, right? We need to take care of our people first. And I wouldn't care at all if the people in Maui, if the people in LA for the fires, if the people in North Carolina, the people of Florida, if they were getting help and actual, abilities to rebuild their lives. I think that is a good use of taxpayer dollars in comparison to just helping some country that doesn't matter at all. Okay. And I could get into more about why we were in Ukraine to begin with, but again, another video for another time, and I'm sure you can go look that up. Okay. Declared a national energy emergency. Okay. Which is huge. This allows us to do more drilling. Which is funny because when I asked Grok this, right, if you look down here, Trump's actions include renaming landmarks like Mount McKinley to its former name and the Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America. Now, what most people don't understand is the reason he's renaming the Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America is because Biden signed a thing that said you can't drill, like there's a lot of restrictions on drilling for oil in the Gulf of Mexico. But there are no restrictions against the Gulf of America. And this has flown over so many people's heads. So many people are unable to realize. They're like, oh, that's stupid. Why would he rename that? That is why, folks, he's playing a different game than you. He understands there's loophole. Like, he's been a business owner long enough. He's dealt with contract law long enough. He's dealt with rules long enough. Everybody who's ever had any level of success in business knows there's always an answer and there's always a way around everything. That's why the billionaires don't pay taxes. Like, there's always a way. You just don't know the right people who know the way, right? So if you think there's not a way to do something, trust me, there is. You just don't know it, right? So don't ever take no for an answer. Find a way to get it done. That is a huge piece of advice I could give you no matter what you're doing in life, okay? Let's see. An order was assigned to establish Doge. And again, led by Elon. Now, this was a big controversy coming out. A lot of conspiracy theories yesterday about this with Vivek not being included. And the reason Vivek is not in this anymore officially is because of the fact that he will be running for office. Now, they're keeping it under tight wraps. I would imagine the next day or two we'll find out. My personal assumption is he'll probably be running for an open office. Or be, given an open office spot by somebody that Trump's bringing in at a high position for Vivek. Vivek is an extremely successful businessman, but you cannot be part of this organization and run for political office, I believe was the reason that Vivek said. So that is why Vivek is not technically in this. So it is Elon Musk and co. Okay, so whether you love Elon or hate Elon, I know as ARPG players, right? If you're a video gamer, he's currently not the most popular guy. I saw a lot of videos and a lot of tweets and a lot of streams yesterday talking about how Elon was, dancing behind Trump while playing Path of Exile, which was interesting. So I'm just going to leave that there. I personally love Elon. I don't really care about any of the gaming drama. The dude is a legend. I absolutely am a fan of Elon Musk, and I hope in my lifetime to contribute 1% of what he's contributed to mankind. And I think if we all started looking at the good in people instead of just right. So basically, guys, whenever somebody ascends, we always look for the shit that's wrong with them instead of how great they are at the reasons they ascended and learning and growing from those things, right? And I'm going to tell you from somebody who's messed up 1,000 times, this is something that's near and dear to my heart. I know that I'm not a perfect person. I know that I make mistakes every single day, and I do things I'm not proud of, and I make mistakes, and I think all of us do. But I hope that the things that I do well and the things that I win at in life inspire other people to go out and win too, knowing that if an imperfect person like me can do it, or an imperfect person like Elon can accomplish what he's accomplished, that there's no reason that you can't either. And I hope that's the mentality that people have moving forward. Okay, so Elon, I love you, brother. Keep it up. Keep playing games. Keep being an inspiration to millions and millions of people, and keep helping the world with Starlink and with what you're doing at SpaceX. I truly think that you are a absolute jewel and somebody who should be praised. And regardless of anything that you may do that may seem wrong or unpopular, I hope that you understand there's a lot of us out here that do appreciate the great things about you, and I hope you know that. So Trump aimed to end diversity, equity, and inclusion, the DEI programs within federal agencies. And again, guys, with this, basically all he did was he wants it to go back to merit-based systems, right? Which, again, is, I think, and I have a video about this that I haven't published, but I think this is the reason that Path of Exile 2 smashes Diablo 4, is because I think GGG, they hire the best people to do the job that needs to be done. I think Blizzard hires people based on DEI, and that's why their seasons suck, and that's why their game isn't very good. What's up, man? How are you? So he also signed orders to bring federal workers back full time, right? So basically, you can't work from home anymore. If you want to be a government employee, get your ass to work. It's time to go back to work. And I'm really hoping the thing that comes next is he starts setting limits on how long you can get government money when you're unemployed. Because again, there's so, like, as a business owner, I can tell you, we would love to have more great people. We would love to have more incredible talent working. But when it's hard to pick between, well, if I stay home, I can make this much money. If I go to work, I can make this much more money. You know what I mean? Do you adjust your lifestyle a little bit so you ain't got to do anything, right? And the problem with that is it's long-term for the course of humanity. It's bad, right? You have to react to some games. Yeah, I'm going to react. I'm going to be playing season 7 here in a minute, but I'm just reacting to everything Trump did day one right now. So thank you for asking in the chat, though. I'm going to get right back into this. Orders were signed to recognize only 2 biological sexes. And guys, this is insane that we have to do this. This is common sense. Okay, if you dig up bones from 100 years ago, you don't know if that person identified as a cat or an it or a them or a they or anything. But you can tell based on DNA testing if it's a male or a female. Okay? That's it. That's it. Okay, that's all there is. That's actual science. So the fact that we have to write this out is bananas to me, but hey, it's done. So stay out of women's sports, guys. If you suck at playing sports against men, you just suck at sports. And you have two choices. You get better or you don't fucking play. That's it. All right. Economic policies. Trump signed an order to postpone the implementation of a ban on TikTok. This was a genius G move. This was a move that a business owner makes. Guys, he holds the key to make a ton of money for the American people on TikTok. I hope personally that he personally buys it. Now, I don't know if legally he can do that as president. I don't know. I'm sure there's a loophole around it. He could somewhere. But that being said, he lifted the ban. They now have 75 days to figure this out, which they will, because again, the amount of users and money in America on TikTok is a bananas amount of money. So having that turned off is a huge loss for the company. Nobody wants that. So even if you're giving up 50% of $1 trillion, you're still making $500 billion, right? Like, think about it that way, right? So would you rather have $500 billion or $0? It's up to you. I'm taking 500 billion 100 out of 100 times. So I think that will move forward. Now, I asked Grok, and then I also asked Grok to check these things out, because these were a couple big things that Grok didn't catch. And so I wanted to make sure that these were true. And yes, he did withdraw from the World Health Organization, which I personally am a massive fan of, because I think that those people were part of the huge problem with the COVID pandemic. And I really think they are a massive piece of the blame puzzle on that. I know they do a lot of good stuff, but I think they massively screwed that one up. And the amount of money that we were spending with them, he explained it yesterday while he was signing the executive orders, is basically what he said is, hey, China spends $39 million to be a part of this organization. We were spending 500 million, but they have 5 times more people in China than we do. And we were paying 12x the amount that they were. And even when Biden got back into it, he could have paid 39 million. Instead, he chose to pay 500 million, which means he chose to give away $460 million of American taxpayer money, which is, again, terrible. Like, that's just terrible for the people who pay taxes, which we all do, right? We pay taxes on everything. He also did this, which I am a monster fan of: suspending U.S. foreign assistance for 90 days. Basically, if we were assisting you, we cut off funding. Now, what's probably going to happen, okay, is the reason he did this is this way it gives Congress enough time to go in and revoke some of these stupid amounts of money that we are giving to these foreign countries, when again, we have problems here first. I feel bad for the people of X, Y, and Z country all over the planet? Sure. I don't care about them as much as I care about me. Okay? No offense, I don't. And if you're honest about you, so do you. So this, I think, is a massive way to really get the ball rolling, because once he has the House and the Senate majority, which he does, and everybody's in and they're going, I think they can get this stuff done and revoked super fast, hopefully. Right? That's how that goes. So, guys, that was basically the Trump first day in office stuff. Unbelievable amounts of things. He's going into Alaska to drill. He's going to reopen the Keystone. He's going to drill in the Gulf of America now, because the Gulf of Mexico is tapped, right? And again, if you guys don't understand what horizontal drilling is, go Google it, because once we discovered we could do this, we found out that basically we have the most oil of anywhere in the country or anywhere on the planet, like America does. And the fact that we're paying so much more money for gas is solely based on politics, which is wrong, right? The government works for the people. The people do not answer to the government. The people appoint government to uphold what they want. And there are 0 people on earth who want to pay more money for everything that they do every day. There are 0 people in America that want to spend more money than they have to for essential goods and services. Okay? That is a 99.9%. I'm sure there's some idiot somewhere, right? Or I'd say 100%. So I'm sure there's 1 out of 100 idiots, right? But outside of that, guys, the majority of human beings completely agree with what I just said. And if this is the kind of stuff that's going to be happening every day for 4 years, we are going to be in such a great place in just 6 to 12 months from now. And I know that I'm excited being in the health industry. That's where my background is. That's the businesses I own. I'm in the gym space. I'm in the supplement space. If you need supplements, waitnutrition.com, WAYT nutrition.com. We would love to service you and help you get healthy this year. But guys, this is an amazing step in the right direction. We haven't even gotten into what RFK is going to do. Elon hasn't even began to smoke on the government overspending. We have so much more that's going to happen. I'm so excited to cover it with you guys. And as always, we'll see you a little later today to stream, and we'll see you in the next video.